26 seconds of gameplay. That's all Nintendo thought we were worth today. A direct is dropped, and we get 26 seconds of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom gameplay, but there is actually way more buried beneath the surface, and this trailer houses many secrets, some of which are still to be determined. But I've got 7 great ones for you. They're going to help bring a better understanding of this game, of the title, and what you can expect come May 12th. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. This is the most exciting thing Nintendo has in their catalog, in their repertoire, and they know it. That's why they ended with it. But let's begin with the start of this trailer and kind of the theme, which is the Zonai. Now, the Zonai, if you do not know, are a very magical, mystical tribe that existed around the Faron region in Hyrule, but they're just heard of in whispers. They haven't been seen for thousands of years, and their iconography is all over the Tears of the Kingdom trailers. Every single BOTW 2 trailer has featured glyphs and imagery and carvings and stones that are all very tied to the Zonai. And it seems like this ancient tribe is going to be heavily featured as perhaps the main core lore of Tears of the Kingdom. And we continue to see them referenced in the logo with the Ouroboros dragon. We see them referenced on Link's arm in a past trailer with the dragon head. And we continue to see their glyph-like pictures and imagery on the ground, on mountains, all over, floating through the air. Those are all Zonai markings. And it's very clear that you better get to know the Zonai, because I feel that is going to be a crux of this storyline. Now, as we progress through this wonderful mural, you start to see a very serious looking figure, some sort of leader figure that is surrounded by 7 tears. Are these the tears of the kingdom, perhaps? Or are these 7 sages to help seal Ganon? Well, whatever they are, they're clearly very important. And this figure in the center looks to be probably bad? I don't know. I have my suspicions that the Zonai might be up to no good. They could be heroic, but I'm concerned with their magical, mystical nature and all the things that Ganondorf decides to dip his toes into. But this figure here is going to be critically important, and those 7 tears or 7 sages or 7 somethings really lead me to believe that this game will adopt a structure more akin to the game that used the 7 sages and less akin to the game that used the Divine Beast, aka the first one, Breath of the Wild. I do feel like we will return to a more linear format for the dungeons, not for the open world, because this world is big and bold, and it might even be existing in multiple timelines. As you see on the mural here, there are enemies with horns. They're bokoblins, but they don't have the busted off short horn from Breath of the Wild 1, I guess. The only Breath of the Wild. These bokoblins have long horns, and the same bokoblins with long horns are seen in an earlier Tears of the Kingdom trailer, implying that these are origin enemies. I feel like this is a hint at some sort of duality in timeline, some sort of back-in-time nature, because you'd imagine as these enemies evolved, these bokoblin grew and progressed, their horns were less needed. So these are either super advanced versions or they are past versions, and this could be the trailer's secret way of hinting at multiple timelines or multiple places in which you play. And we have seen hints of time being a mechanic in this game, or at least a story-based element in past trailers, and I think it's something we need to keep kind of off to the side and remember that, yes, it's sky and it's ground and it's Tears of the Kingdom, but it could also be the past kingdom or the future kingdom or both. We finally see Link himself bust through gigantic circular doors, bearing once again the Zonai dragon symbols in a circular formation. And I'll also note that on the mural, there are circular formations as well, coming from what seems like Zelda cupping her hands. Ouroboros circles, they're in the logo, they're iconography in the world, and they're even on a giant door, so that is going to be important. But Link goes and makes his leap, and here we see the patent. Ta-da! It's the patent, where Link flies and falls and has high velocity falling and is ready to do different moves. It's clear that gameplay in progression of falling is going to be a critical piece of the mechanics in Tears of the Kingdom, and Nintendo has patents to sort of sort through slow falling, fast falling, downward bow swings, upward bow swings, sideways, and he's going to need these because there's clearly going to be enemies and events and encounters in his falls. Now, one of those is actually hidden behind one of these islands. It is a mystical, mysterious dragon. Did you notice this the first time? I sure didn't, but on a slow frame-by-frame rewatch, there is a dragon. And it doesn't seem to be the color schemes of the dragons from Breath of the Wild, indicating that this is a new dragon. And because of the logo and because of the Zonai, I feel like dragons are going to play a big role. I wouldn't be surprised if at one point you befriend a dragon or you ride a dragon. I think they will be in the sky, and I think that they will be a bigger piece of the puzzle than they were in the last game. But this is just a nice little I Spy, Where's Waldo? There is a dragon there, and most people probably didn't see it on their first watch. Let's rewind a little bit to Link's initial departure from the skies. What is on his hip pouch right there? It looks like he's got the Vessel of Light. If you aren't a walking Twilight Princess encyclopedia, then let me inform you that the Tears of Light were stolen from the Spirits of Light by the Shadow Insects, and they were scattered, and Link in that game recovers them 16 at a time and brings them back. This one has 8 slots. Now, this seems to be a very similar looking item, but maybe with a different purpose. We see the green color that is all over these trailers anytime something is rising with those Zonai symbols, anytime anything creepy is going on with the skeleton evil body, and here he's capturing green. Now, could these be the tears that we see around the mysterious figure back in the mural? No, because Link has slots for 8, and there were 7 of those tears. So that leads me to believe that maybe those 7 are in fact more related to sages or something of that sort, 7 deities or 7 different areas, temples, whatnot. And the tears themselves are going to be things that you do recover in larger quantities, a la Twilight Princess. Now, the connection between the two games is very interesting, and you cannot argue that the item does not look eerily similar, but its functionality and its importance to the storyline based on the title could be a lot higher here in this new game. We talked about falling. We know they got patents for that, but what about patents for climbing or rising? Well, they definitely did climbing in Breath of the Wild 1, so that's taken care of. But what about fast rising? We see Link jump aboard a Zonai symbol-infused rock and ride that thing to the sky, old-fashioned elevator style. Now, he's clearly using an ability that we saw in a past trailer as the ball rolled backwards up the hill. It seems like that is a reversal of time, as well as we saw indicated with the water droplet floating upward. I still feel like there's some sort of time rewind, past, present, future element to this game. But do note, there are other similar looking boulders, rocks, broken pieces that are scattered about parts of Hyrule as Link is exploring. And I believe this to be the fast travel system to the sky. Instead of letting you just menu and go back to the sky, I bet they have these rocks scattered around so that you have easy access to the sky, but still need to find an in-world way to accomplish it, an immersive way to get Link back up there. And perhaps there's different rocks that will take you different heights and different locations, and I could see some quests involving finding the right ground rock to go to the sky. And the sky and the ground are very connected here. In fact, at one point we see Link climbing on roots, but up in the sky, which clearly indicates that this part of the kingdom was ripped or torn from the ground. Now, nobody in the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom trailer speaks, and that brings me to this final brain burner. Is it tears or is it tears? Or is a double entendre intended? Because it sure seems like the kingdom could be crying itself into the sky, as well as tearing the kingdom into the air. Now, wouldn't it be hilarious if we all called it tears, but Nintendo was like, no, it's tears. It's tears, it's tears, it's probably tears, and I feel like that is referenced with some of the different iconography and even those 7 tear-looking type things and the Vessel of Light, which we discussed earlier, but do know that tears and tears are spelled identically, and tears and tears seem to imply that the same kind of thing is happening to the kingdom. The kingdom is being ripped apart, and it's sad, and we're all crying that we don't get to play this game for 8 more months. But let me know what you think of some of these secrets, these things you missed. Which one are you most excited about? And is there anything else that you found that you want to tell the world all about? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you're ready for more Zelda action. I cannot wait to dive even deeper into what they've delivered and then find out what is up next. Until then, though, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive, everybody. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.